Well, sometimes life has a way of lining things up at just the right moment, even when it feels like time is running out. Well, for country artist Sweeney, trusting in that timing proved to be the right step, and it would change the course of her life.
I don't think there's coincidences. I think everything in your life happens for a reason from day one. I told myself that if I didn't have a record deal by 30, that I was just gonna kind of submit being just what I was. A month before I turned 30, I got a record deal.
Well, the road to success often comes with great sacrifice, and Sunny knows that firsthand. In her song, Poet's Prayer, she captures the emotional cost of chasing a dream while also celebrating the incredible rewards that come with a life on the road.
All the things like having a family, like all of the things that you sacrifice to be able to be a part of something that you know you're supposed to be a part of. The fact that I chose to pick up a guitar has afforded me the option of literally traveling the world. I've been to like 30 countries because I chose to pick up a guitar, and there's nothing that will ever change that.
Well, losing a record deal, it can be devastating for any artist, and for Sunny, it felt like the rug had been pulled out from under her. She leaned on her own faith, asking God for a sign that would help her decide on her next step. And she received one in the form of a major award nomination.
My birthday is December 7th, and on my birthday, I said, I need 2 weeks. I need a sign. Lord, if you want to give me a sign, you want me to stay in the music business, otherwise I'm getting a degree. I'm getting a job from my degree. Like, I can't do this anymore. It's too hard. On the 14th day at 5 o'clock, I get a call.
No way.
That the ACMs have nominated me for Best New Artist.
Welcome to On the Record, presented by John Deere. I am so excited about this next guest, who is a true Texas original. Her voice and storytelling have made her one of the most relatable and most authentic artists in music. Welcome from Starstruck Studios, Miss Sunny Sweeney.
Thank you.
What a pleasure to have you here.
I am beside myself. I was so excited when we decided to finally make this happen after talking about it for so long.
You know, I was going to start, I wanted to say, I was going to talk about your sense of humor right off the get-go. When people look at your latest album, Rhinestone Requiem, I Drink Well with Others, really stands out to me because first of all, the idea of going to a bar and being around people, being around your own people, right? And kind of nursing that heartache. I wanted to ask you, has anybody ever told you that your music pairs well with a cold one? Have you gotten that?
Many times, yes, yes, including my parents. My parents, I mean, we started out when I was very young. I always tell people, like, when they bring their kids to bars, like to see our shows, I like make kind of a joke and be like, I'm not going to change my show just because your kid's here. You know, you're the one that brought your kid to a bar. And I'll be like, my parents took me to bars and look how I turned out, you know? So I feel like it just was natural. Like, it was sort of like a natural thing for me to feel comfortable there.
Yeah.
And I do and have made some of the greatest friends of my life in bars. So
the real people, the real deal. You mentioned your parents. I want to go back. Houston native, right? You were born, but grew up in Longview. Is that right?
Right. I was born in Houston, and I lived there for about 2 years. Then my dad decided he didn't want to work for my grandparents had an insurance company, and he did not want to do that. And so he wanted to go back to East Texas, Northeast Texas, where he was from. So they packed up and, you know, moved us back up there. And I'm really grateful that I grew up in a small town, though. I don't think my life would have turned out the same way if I would have lived in Houston.
Why so? What was it like there?
The small town life, unless you've lived in a small town, like, you can't really explain it to someone, you know what I mean? But like, I feel like there was a safety that was there and like a security, and you kind of know everybody, which kind of is a double-edged sword. Cause like in high school, you start knowing everybody and then you get in trouble because their parents see you do everything.
Everybody knows you're coming and going.
Yes.
Right.
But I wouldn't trade. I couldn't wait to get out of there as I got older, but I wouldn't trade growing up there because it was just so safe.
Where did music come into play? Who was musical in your family?
So my grandfather was in a big band. He played trumpet, and he was back in like his college age, he was in the Bill Blass Big Band up in Wisconsin. And then my mother's husband, my stepdad, who's also my dad. I mean, my dad is in East Texas. My stepdad is also my dad. He's the one that got me a guitar. He bought me a guitar when he tried to teach me guitar when I was 12. It had nothing to do with it. I thought it was for old people. And so then when I got out of college, I was like, God, I do not want to get a job. Like I want to like do something where I can wear jeans all the time and like work for myself and hire the people I want to work. And I was like, I guess, light went off. I was like, music. I could get him to teach me guitar. So
it was after college.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When did you take the stage? I feel like, first of all, I'm just going to say this. I think you're hilarious. I think you're so outgoing. I can't imagine you would have any inhibitions.
I don't. And that's probably half my issue.
That's good.
But he got me a guitar, and I'm trying to think, like, I believe that was in December, and then I had my first gig in August.
Oh, wow.
So, but in like March, April, May, I had a friend named Bridget that was really instrumental in helping me, like, learn what to do or, whatever, like I didn't know. I still don't know what I'm doing 20 years later, but I really didn't know what I was doing then.
You know what that's called? That's called being genuine. That's being called authentic, where you're not rehearsed or, you do what you do because it's just who you are.
You know what someone told me recently is that a lot of country singers, a lot of them, if not all of them, they just sing.
Yeah.
They didn't have like formal training.
Coaches, you just the bars. That's the best.
And
education.
So I never really thought about that, but like it's just kind of like, then I'm just gonna sing? Oh, okay. I know I can sing, so I'm just gonna sing. And you just don't think about it.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, I know I can write songs and I know I can sing. So let me just try to do
doing that the whole time, kind of singing. You heard your voice. People said, hey, you've got something.
Yeah. I mean, I sang like in church growing up and in high school. I was not in choir. I was in theater, and the choir teacher, which is really random, but she now is a sister-in-law of the president of my record label, which is really weird, but I never found that out till like 3 years ago. But her name is Beth, and I marched into her choir class and started singing Dolly Parton 9 to 5. And I said, I want to be in the end of year production. And she's like, you're not in choir. And I was like, but I'm going to be in the end of year production. And she's like, but you're not in choir. And I said, I don't care. So I started singing 9 to 5. And she's like furious that I wasn't in the class. Like, she's like, why are you not in choir? And I said, because I don't want to be in choir. I want to be in theater. So she let me be in the end of year production.
That's incredible.
Singing 9 to 5, and I stuffed my dollies and, teased my hair and stuffed my dollies.
And we were off and running. Stay with us. A lot more with Sunny Sweeney when we come back.
I've manifested some of the weirdest stuff that like came out of complete thin air.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's one of them.
Welcome back to On the Record, spending time with Sunny Sweeney. And before the break, I said there is a kinship, and a friendship. We're going to talk about that, a sisterhood within the business. After Big Machine, I want to go back to those days. You had parted ways with the label. You went out, you made incredible records, critical acclaim. The first female I read to have back-to-back #1s on the Texas chart. Bad Girl Phase, My Bed.
Yeah, I didn't know that until that happened, evidently. And because like it's like nobody tells you anything. No. You know what I mean? And like I didn't know that until literally that happened. I didn't think about it. I didn't think that surely someone else has had this happen. I didn't think about it. So then when they told me, they're like, this is really the first time this has happened. I was like, wow, that's really interesting.
Wow.
And it was really wild. And the guys down there on the Texas scene have been instrumental in my life. Like all those guys down there, Kevin Fowler and Randy Rogers and Jason Boland and all those guys, they always were very supportive of me and had me come open shows, and Reckless Kelly and like all those guys. And but at the time, there literally were not that many girls. And now there's so many, which is amazing.
Being in the Country Music Hall of Fame and having your face, your story being told there, I cannot imagine, for all the hard work that you've put in, for all the sacrifice that you've made away from family, to see that.
I cannot either.
Yeah.
That's one of those stories that's actually, there's two other events in my life. The one was getting a record deal. And then there's two other events in my life. In 2012 and 2022, I tried to quit the music business both times. And my mom said, Sonny, you need to, she's like, whatever you want to do, I'll support you. But in 2012, she said, you need to pray about this. She said, you need to figure out if this is really, because she goes, I know what you're supposed to do. Like, I know getting dropped from a label, it sucks. Yeah. It's heartbreaking and whatever, and you feel like a loser, whatever, all that. Most emotionally, like tolling thing that you could ever have happen to you. She said, you need to pray about this. And she said, and you need to ask for like a specific sign. I was like, Mom, please just get off me. Like, just come on. She's like, no, give yourself a timeline, 2 weeks, something like that. So, the music business shuts down the end of the year.
Yeah.
So my birthday is December 7th. And on my birthday, I said, I need 2 weeks. I need a sign. Lord, if you want to give me a sign, you want me to stay in the music business. Otherwise, I'm getting a degree. I'm getting a job from my degree. Like, I can't do this anymore. It's too hard. On the 14th day, I gave myself 14 days. On the 14th day in the morning, I called my mom. I said, hey, Mama, today's the 14th day. Haven't gotten any signs. Letting you know I've been praying about it, but I'm getting a job. She's like, okay, that's fine. So at 5 o'clock, I get a call.
No way.
That the ACMs have nominated me for Best New Artist. Didn't even have a record deal, didn't have a song on the radio, nothing.
Wow.
And so, and the guy said, I'm not supposed to tell you this till January, but I felt like you needed to hear it today. Wow. Which still makes me want to like just lose it.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Rhinestone Requiem. You said to me when we talked about this album before that you wanted to do an album that sounded like country music, the way you think country music should sound today. It is country. It is straight ahead.
Thank you.
This is a song that an album that you said you took a year to really put together.
I did. And I've had a lot of interviews about this record and a lot of people it's like everybody wants to like zero in on what is country music. I'm like, I don't know. It's per artist. And like, if an artist wants to perceive it being country music, they should be able to do that. So who am I to tell somebody what is country music? I'm just doing what I think is country music. You know what I mean? And so like, for me, this is my perception of how I think if I were looking for country music to listen to, this is what I would want to hear. Yeah. So that's what we made that record intentionally thinking about that. Like, there's a chick singer singing songs about, real life stuff, up-tempo stuff. I don't like a lot of slow stuff.
I feel like there is this two sides in the songs that you deliver, because heartbreak really plays a big part of your songs, but you do it with tempo. You deliver with tempo, which is interesting.
It's anger, Suzanne. It's anger.
However you get there, you get there, and we like it.
I'm kidding. No, I feel like that's sort of what I like doing. I like writing songs. I think the song titles are the most important part of a song, honestly, for me, because like having a song title that is the hook of a song is very important for me. Where like there's no question what the song title is.
Diamonds and a Divorce Decrees. Yeah.
Yes, and like that song particularly, like, am I embarrassed that I've been divorced twice? Yes. But like, is it part of my life? Yes. And like, can I do anything about it? No.
It brings us back to the very beginning when I said one of the most authentic, one of the most relatable artists in your voice and in your storytelling. And I think that is what we gravitate towards. And that's why we love you so much. By the way, before I let you go, you said, Mama, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a job in my degree, public relations. You would have wound up right back in Nashville doing PR.
I know, or New York. I wanted to be an entertainment publicist. Like, that was kind of what my plan was. And, I guess that just wasn't in my plan. Like this was my plan, you
I'm
know?
so glad that did not work out.
Thank
You're
you.
so glad
I am
you
too.
are here.
I am
Lenny
too.
Sweeney, always a pleasure to see you.
You too.
One of the best in the business. Thank you guys for watching On the Record, presented by John Deere. We hope to see you next time.